Hello, Hana the Suburban Witch here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to shield your energy. In today's video, we'll go through what is shielding, a few techniques on how to do it, and why it is necessary for your energetic protection. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hana the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love bringing all of my witchy spiritual content to you here on YouTube. I release a video every Wednesday, so make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss one. You can also find me over on TikTok, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, and my website as well, where I run a blog. Effective shielding techniques, along with other forms of psychic hygiene such as grounding, clearing, and cleansing, are going to be crucial, especially if you are an empath or a healer, a spiritual worker, a psychic or medium, someone who is particularly sensitive. I'm looking at you guys, Pisces. Anyone that works in the care-related industry as well can really benefit from this sort of thing. Shielding is a way of psychically protecting yourself in your environment. It can be extremely beneficial to those working in a toxic environment or people who are highly sensitive as well. Shielding is a way of psychically protecting your energy and is extremely helpful when negotiating toxic environments, emotionally charged events, crowded places, or when dealing with narcissists and energy vampires. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who complains about everything and almost like they come to you to emotionally dump that all on you, regardless of whether you've asked for it or not? And when you maybe try to do the same, like, hey, I've also had a bad week, they kind of don't give you that same sort of support, and it's all about them, or they make it about them. I find these types of people are often energy vampires, whether they know it or not, and it's just not a really good situation if they're not respecting your boundaries. Fun tip, if you think this might be you, what I'd suggest doing is before you emotionally dump on someone, say to them, hey, I have some things I really want to talk about. I've been not in a good place. Do you mind if I talk about it with you? And just make sure that they're in the right headspace to listen. On the other side, if you are the person being dumped on, I recommend you ask them when they start talking, say, hey, would you like me to listen? Would you like me to give advice? Or would you like me to help you in this matter? Or you can state your boundary of, I'm not quite in the right headspace right now. Can we talk about this another time? So aside from that, if this person is not getting the hint or you're not able to say those things, maybe they're a manager at work or a parent that just has gone through all of your boundaries all the time, then what you can do is some shielding. My favorite form of shielding I call the bubble, and it is a visualization exercise. So what you're going to do is you're going to imagine that there is a bubble surrounding you. Now this one's really great to use in crowded places as well. So if you're a highly sensitive person or an empath and you find going to shopping centers or going to gigs or pubs or wherever you're going and there's just so many people and so many feelings coming in at you, what you can do is imagine this bubble surrounding you and everyone bounces off it. Anyone that's in your path, they bounce off it. Anyone that is projecting their stuff and their trauma or emotions at you bounces straight off and goes somewhere else. So it's not necessarily going back to them, but it's just bouncing off. So you can use this when you're chatting to your parents. Imagine this bubble and any of those negative, snarky comments parents often tend to make bounce off and go somewhere else, and you don't have to take them on board. This is a really fantastic and very easy one to do, and you can do it anywhere and anytime. The next level up of the bubble is to not only imagine yourself in a bubble of protection for you, but imagine the person themselves in a bubble. So everything they say stays within their bubble and they almost get a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. And you'll find that this almost has an immediate switch effect. It's quite interesting to watch if your visualization is strong enough and you've got that image really, really clearly in your mind of them and you both in bubbles. It's really fascinating to see the results. I also find if I'm doing this exercise of me in a bubble walking through a crowd, people actually tend to sort of move out of my way a little bit better. It's a really, really effective one Fantastic as well if you have any form of social phobias. Now the next one I'm going to talk about, it's not technically a shield, but it works the same way. I would call it more of a warding, shielding. It's very similar, and this is a physical one that you would do with crystals. So using a crystal like black tourmaline to grid your space, if you've got these people or anything coming into your space, this can be a really handy one to do. So you would place this at all four corners of the room, and basically that is providing an energetic shield or an energetic grid of your space to protect you and soak up any negative energy. An alternative stone would be onyx or hematite. Remember, if you're using hematite, do not place it near any electrical items such as a laptop, as it can actually cause your hard drive to malfunction because it is a magnetized metal. Another way to use this as a shield is to wear it as a necklace, pop it in your back pocket, however you feel comfortable, and just sort of imagine that this is literally shielding you. Like, it's bigger than it is. You can imagine that this little, if you're wearing it as a necklace, that it grows larger and larger and larger, and anything sort of gets stuck in it and it absorbs it all for you and you don't have to. Now the last one is another visualization method, and I call it the mirror. So it's similar to the bubble, and basically what you're doing is you are envisioning a mirror shielding you. So it goes up in front of you and it throws everything back at this person and provides a mirror to them. And it's really fun to see the confused look on their face as you lock it in place and they go, oh, almost like, I'm not getting what I want out of this transaction. So if they were trying to talk down at you or get an emotional response or do all these things and get something from you by their tirade, suddenly it's thrown back on them and they get a little bit of a, what's going on here? And they don't understand it's an energetic shift that you've just put into place with that mirror. You can imagine it a standard mirror or even like a black mirror, and it's just, you know, absorbing and then throwing it back to them as well. So I recommend giving these exercises a go, seeing how they feel for you. If you are particularly overwhelmed, emotional, not in a great headspace, it can be really handy to make sure you're shielding yourself every day alongside grounding and cleansing practices as well. If you're feeling a little bit better, you may notice you only need to do it once a week, and you can almost keep that shield up for the rest of the week. Okay, you can do this to yourself, you can do it to your home. I often imagine like a mirrored dome that sits around my house for protection overnight, just to ward off anything that might be coming through in my dreams or anything like that. So you can use this to your advantage, put it around your car, do it in all sorts of ways that you can think up, be really creative, shield yourself wherever you feel like you need it. I hope you have a great day wherever you are today, and I'll chat to you next time. Bye.